good afternoon. Today is Friday, October 6th. As you can see, my grandkids were over yesterday. I'm just noticing the snowman. He's going, oh my gosh, when are they leaving? I know, because they love to play with them. Anyway, my hood is too tight. Anyway, today is Jimmy's birthday. My son Jimmy, 51 years old today. Although on his candles and his cake yesterday, he put 15. What a dreamer that man is. But anyway, today's Jimmy's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. I love him so much. He's such a good son. I tell you, the day he was born, that was my gift. I'm telling you, it was one of my I have 3 great gifts. Well, I've got a lot of great gifts in my life, but my 3 children are really my blessings, and my grandchildren. Don't get me started. But it's also my grandniece, Brianna, her new last name, Henry. Today's her birthday, but she doesn't watch my channel. But I did send her a Facebook message. She's on her honeymoon. She's whose wedding we went to last week. She went to Disney World for her honeymoon. So happy birthday, Brianna. Just on the off shot, you do watch this, but I know you don't. So you don't even get a song. No, you don't. But I also know that Brenda Bays watches my channel. So Brenda, you get a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brenda. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday along with Brianna and Jimmy. I was going to say David. David's birthday's in April. I hope you both have a great, great birthday. But we also have an anniversary today because today is Joanne and Don Piduch, P-I-D-U-C-H. Piduch. Anyway, Joanne and Don, it's your 17th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great, great anniversary. I also want to correct the fact that yesterday I sang to Kathy Woolsey and said it was her birthday, and I asked her what the name of her channel is, which she did answer. It's Smoky Cat. But she informed me it was her anniversary, so I took a closer look at my calendar. And sure enough, if I would have hit on her name, it would have continued on, and it would have told me that her and Steve were celebrating their 44th anniversary yesterday. And I sang happy birthday to Kathy. Yeah, it wasn't her birthday. It was hers and Steve's anniversary. So, you know, you get a song today, even though it's a day late and $1 short. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you had a great anniversary yesterday. We had a great dinner yesterday, so hopefully you did. Today would have been today is the 4th anniversary of Jim's brother's passing. Tom went quick. He went really quick. And just, he had medical issues, but, he had gone into a rehab and then never came out. So, that was sad for us. It was really sad, but we were with him. So he didn't pass alone. So people were with him, which is nice. So, I was going to tell you something before. Oh, David did not get the job. He was so disappointed. There was somebody that applied that had more experience than him. So he was really disappointed. But there's a strong possibility that his shift that he does like, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 to 8, seems to be picking up, and he might be able to get transferred back to that one. So fingers crossed that one works for him, because he absolutely hates this schedule. He loves the job. Loves the money too, because he's getting more money than that. But I know it's a crappy shift, especially when all your friends are just getting home from work when you're going into work. It's kind of hard. Maybe in the winter months it might make it a little easier, because they mostly go, because David lives really close to the lake. David is like 2 blocks from the lake, and there's a park and everything down there. And so him and his friends used to go down there, but now that the weather's getting colder, they obviously won't be doing that. So maybe he won't miss that as much. Hopefully by next summer he can get on a pretty decent schedule. And then Jimmy asked for money for his birthday because he wants to plant a tree. So he's going to be planting a tree this weekend. So everybody gave him money towards a tree. So we're all going to be part owners in the tree. I don't know if you remember when he was building his property that I had picked a tree that was going to be my tree so that when he sat on the front porch, you know, he'd look at that tree and he could think of me. Not that he needed a tree to think of me, but you know what I mean. But they had to take that tree down because it died. It was like, no. So I told him this will be my tree then, even though I didn't only contribute some of it. Everybody contributed towards it. And then we should be getting our tulips. Remember when I went to the Holland Tulip Festival back in May or something like that? I think it was in May. I think it was, yeah, April or May. And we ordered tulips. And I just realized that they're supposed to be delivered this month in October. So we can plant those. And Jimmy can get his planted because he's trying to get all of his spring planting done. He's going back and forth for his lawn. First of all, he was just going to have a hose, like run sprinklers with a hose, and then he was going to have a sprinkler system. Then he came over and borrowed all my hoses so that he could have hoses all around since he's replanting seed again. So Samantha told him that one of the agreements is that he, after, I think it's the 18th or something like that, is when he's going to make the decision. She doesn't want to hear about the sprinklers or the lawn until the spring. She says she's up to here with it. She's just done with it. And then what else? If you notice my Facebook post for Jimmy, that for his birthday, his favorite book as a child was Are You My Mother? Every time I have all these books and everything, and when I read him his book at night, he always picked a book, and then after we read one book, he could read another book. He always could read 2 books. Sometimes I read 3 books, because they're really little and that. So we would read a book every night before he went to bed. And for as much as I read to my children, the only one that took to reading is my daughter, Christy. Jimmy and Danny, not so much. They don't really read. I mean, they know how to read, obviously, but no, Christy's the only one that took it to heart to reading. But anyway, Jimmy would pick all of the books, and we would pick a book, and then he'd read another book. And then always the last book before he went to bed was Are You My Mother? We could say it along with each other. We said it so much. And I kept telling him, Jimmy, I am your mother. Why do you keep asking me, am I your mother? But one of the things that, because when he got older, I told him the story about when I lost him in the hospital, because when I delivered him, I had convulsions, and so they had to rush me in to have delivery, or they didn't put me to sleep. They sedated me because my water broke at 3 a.m, and I called the doctor, and he says, well, it's your first baby. It's not going to come right away. Just try to go back to sleep, and then, come in a couple hours afterwards, and we'll see what's going on. Once your contractions are like 5 minutes apart. And so I went back, we changed the bed, went back to bed. I think I woke up at 10:30. I thought, I think there's something going on here. So we went to the hospital, and then they started hooking me up with all the IVs and that. And I had convulsions. I had them a lot at that point in my life. I don't have them as often. I don't have them anymore, but I did then. And I started having convulsion, and I told the nurse, I'm going to have a convulsion. No, you're just having a reaction to the medication. I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to, and then I went unconscious and had a convulsion. Last thing's going on, I could hear Jim yelling at the nurse. And then I don't remember anything till like about 6:15, 20 after 6, and they woke me up and they go, push, push, I want to see the baby, push, push. And I kept thinking, and I was swearing at them, and I go, you're going to see the damn head, you better look at this baby. So then Jimmy was born, and I said, all I wanted him to be was more than 9 pounds, because I had bet Jim's brother that he was going to weigh more than 9 pounds. And Jim's brother said, nobody has babies that big. Jimmy was 10 pounds, 23.5 inches long. So, I had a big baby. He was almost 2 foot tall, born. Ready to face the world. And so they took him away. And because back then you didn't get their babies right away. And when they brought him into the room, because I delivered on the 4th floor, my room was on the 5th floor, and they bring the babies around, and then they bring me this baby, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, they don't look a thing like me. I mean, I had dark hair, but everybody told me, oh, he's so beautiful. He looks just like Jim. He's got blonde hair and blue eyes, the bluest eyes you've ever seen. And the blondest hair, it's almost white. And then they bring this baby in with these really dark eyes and jet black hair. And I look at the girl next to her, and I look at the baby's bracelet, and it said Palazzolo. And so I said to the girl in the next bed, I said, does your baby's bracelet have the nurse's name on it? And she says, no, it's got my name. It matches my band. And so then I called down to the nurse's station and I said, I have the wrong baby. I have the wrong baby. And they go, we'll be right down. You know, like, oh my God, hysterical mother, first child. Because I was only 20. I just turned 22. And not that I was young, but back then 22 was a lot younger than it seems like it is today. People are way more mature at 22 than I was at 22, I think at least. But anyway, not so much more mature. I don't think it's not really more advanced, more knowledge of the world. That would be better. Not more mature. I've met some 22-year-olds. No, not more mature. More knowledge of what's going on in the world than I did back then. I was really kind of naive. I really was naive now that I think about it. But the nurse comes in, you know, all matter of fact, and she's taking the baby and she's holding him and that, and then she says, what's the problem? And I go, that is not my baby. And she says, why? And I go, because he doesn't look a thing like me. Well, that's not the thing to say, because that doesn't have anything to do with anything. And so she says, yeah. Okay, now, what is your last name? And she's looking at the baby's bracelet. And I said, Carrico, Carrico. And then she looked at it again and she says, would you say that again? And I said, Carrico, that's not my baby. And so she looked at it and she said, you are correct. This is not your baby. She says, we will get your baby. And so then she walked out with this Palazzolo baby. And she come back in and she says, oh, since you delivered on the 4th floor, your child is still down there, but we'll bring him up for the next feeding. And I said, okay, because I was going to try to nurse. I wasn't able to nurse. I couldn't nurse any of my children. I had a problem with it. TMI, the equipment didn't work the right way. I don't know what they would have done if I was they were born in the olden days. They probably would have starved because no matter what we tried, it didn't work. They would latch, but nothing worked. So anyway, the next feeding came and no baby. So then I thought, well, you know, so I said, what's the problem? Well, there's shortage of staff. They got to, don't rest assured he's eating fine. And I said, okay, whatever. Then the next feeding came and he didn't come again. And so then I'm hysterical because I said, my baby died. I really did think that he died because I had the convulsion beforehand. I thought I did something and they just didn't want to tell me. And they go, no, your baby's not dead. Your baby's dead. I go, my baby's dead. I know my baby's dead. You brought me the wrong baby to try to soothe me, And they go, no, you're fine. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to go down there and personally bring you your baby. And I said, you damn well better. So then they bring me Jimmy up and I'm checking him out and I'm checking the bracelet and I'm counting his fingers and his toes and I'm unwrapping them and everything. And he had blonde hair and the bluest eyes. His hair was white. I go, this is my baby. So they said, oh, okay, that is your baby. But he wouldn't feed. I just couldn't get him. And so I really just thought it was because they had fed him the formula for so many feedings that he just didn't want to latch. But then I had the same issues with Danny and Christy. So it was just something that was going on. But when we went back then, they had all kinds. It was way different when you had a baby back then. Because then you went for the demonstration on how the proper way to give the baby a bath. Guess who, baby? Palazzolo baby was the guinea pig. So I'm thinking that was the pass along baby. So I always teased Jimmy later on in life that maybe, like when he'd get me so aggravated, I go, I probably should have took that Palazzolo baby home. Jimmy marched to his own drummer from a very early age. But it's Jimmy. My favorite, I wish I could find it. I have to convert my film. My mother took all kinds of home movies. I have so many home movies that I started to convert to DVDs, but it was so damn expensive. Oh my gosh. I think it's probably cheaper now, I hope, but I had so much film. And I have a video on my email that I saw how I could buy my own projector and do my own transfer and all that. And I was going to do that. And then 2020 came about and I just lost interest in that. And that would have been the perfect year when I didn't have anything else to do. So instead, Jim and I did puzzles, which has started our yearly routine of doing puzzles every winter. So we do 3 puzzles every year. But my favorite, back to that, my favorite video is of me and Jimmy. And he was probably maybe 2.5. And I was sitting at the table and he was sitting next to me and he was talking. They were back then, you didn't have talking videos. You just had And my mother had she'd hold up a lamp because her light didn't work, and it would be like such a bright light, and you go, bright light, like that type of thing. But it was somebody's birthday, and we were sitting at the table, and Jimmy was sitting next to me, and just at that moment, he put his arm through my arm, and he leaned his head on me and looked up at me. And I could cry just thinking of it. It's my favorite memory of Jimmy when he was little. It's just my favorite memory. And, I have so many good memories of Jimmy when he was little. He gave me a lot of issues, but he was a very loving child, and he still is. He's a loving son. He really is. But that is my favorite. And if I could find that, I would do a still shot of it, and I'd frame it. I really would, because I just love that picture, or not, that movie or whatever. But I have, Jimmy my Aunt Merle lived with us, and she was kind of bald, and so she had a wig, and she always had a purse and high heels, and he would go in her room and put her heels on, wrap the purse, because she always carried her purse like this, and then she'd walk out, and when she was going to go anywhere, and Jimmy always saw that, and so then Jimmy would come up and he'd go, "Hi, I'm Merle," because her name was Merle. "Hi, I'm Merle." It was just, and then I had a tape recording of him singing M-I-C-K-K-Y, K-M-O-U-S-E. That's how he sang Mickey Mouse song. Lost that tape too. Back then you don't think of things to keep things. And nowadays I'm thinking I should have kept that. I really should have. But it's funny how kids pick up your mannerisms, because David loved to vacuum. Loved to vacuum. So when he was little, we bought him a little vacuum, toy vacuum cleaner. And when Cindy would vacuum, she would vacuum with the one hand, but she would hold up the cord with the other hand up off the ground, so she would vacuum like this. So when David had his little play vacuum cleaner, he would always have his hand up, even though there was no cord. He would just have his hand going like this, and he pretended he's vacuuming. Let me look at something out the window. I'm going to be a nosy body. Yeah, I didn't think so. I have a Ring camera that flashes when people drive by or go in my driveway, which will bring me to the subject of the basement. Stay calm. Stay calm. That's all I can say. Stay calm. Because I am pissed beyond belief. I am so pissed. I'm just so aggravated with this damn basement. August 25th is when we gave him the money. No, August 25th is when we hired him. September 7th, on my birthday, is when we paid him half to do the basement. And then 2 weeks later, paid him almost the other half. Why? Is only because it's Jim's friends. Friends. I'm going to put it like that. Friends. And so he said, no, they're good to go. Blah 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 blah. So they have no incentive to come here to do it. We only owe them almost $3,000 is all we owe them. Why are they going to bother for that? I've seen people walk away. Why would they walk? They've already got $11,000. They already bought the supplies. They've already made their profit. I know. Calm down, Sandy. But anyway, we were promised last week, because they wanted to come last week, and I told you we were going to be gone for the wedding. So they promised us that they would be here on Tuesday. I told you that. Tuesday they were going to be here at 3 o'clock, and they were going to work until dark. But then they had to take Wednesday off, but they would be here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 9 in the morning, and they would be working until it got dark, until it got finished. Promise this is going to be done. I promise. And then I told you on Tuesday was when they told us that we're right up here at 23 and Sass, which is 3 minutes from my house. We're right up here at the corner. We should be there. And it took them an hour and a half to get here, and then they were only here an hour, if that, maybe an hour and 10 minutes to do whatever the heck they did. So we knew they weren't going to come on Wednesday. They promised us they'd be here Thursday at 9 o'clock, and they were going to work from 9 o'clock in the morning until it got dark. They were going to do as much as they could possibly do. And so I said, okay. And I told Jim, they're not going to show up. And they showed up at 10 after 9. I was surprised. 10 after 9, which I thought, okay, they're on time as far as I'm concerned. 10 after 9, 10 minutes late. No, they only worked until 2 o'clock. Maybe 3 at the most. Promised they'd be here at 9 o'clock this morning. Or no, 12 o'clock. We'll be here at 12 o'clock on Friday. Promise, definitely, promise. Guess what? Not here. No calls. Nothing. And they're supposed to be done tomorrow. So, I showed you yesterday how far they got, and I thought, boy, we're making progress. They laid the floor, they got the bedroom and the bathroom and the hallway done, and then I did the film and I showed you. And then the camera, on the film, it did show peachy color. That is the color of the bathroom. But on my camera, when I'm filming it, it come out yellow. So it was kind of weird that when I did my editing, I thought, well, this is the color of my bathroom. So that really was the color of my bathroom. But then I'm looking in the closet, and they brought up the wood up into the closet, and some of the planks went into the closet, but not all of the planks, depending on how their cutting went as far as the measuring goes. And so then I said to Jim, I said, well, this is all fine and dandy. All they got to do is, Jim says, all they got to do in the guest bedroom is just put the molding up and then hang the doors. And I go, well, they have to put finish the closet. And he said, no, it's a basement closet. I told them they didn't have to, they said that when they were doing the cutting, they figured it didn't need to be done. And I agreed with them, it didn't need to be done. And I said, Jim, you have to do the closet too. I said, this looks like shit. I said, this looks terrible. I said, because it's like half of the planks went through. And he said, well, all I do is store my hunting clothes in here anyhow, so it's not a big deal. And I go, resale, Jim. You got to think resale. He said, well, I'll be dead and gone when we sell the house. And I go, the kids are going to have to do something about that then. When, like when they want to sell the house, we need to do this now. Well, if you really think we should do it. And I go, yeah, we really, really need to be doing this. So then when we come back into the main part of the basement where they're doing the hallway, and it goes into the living part of the basement, we have like a closet that you can either have a door or not have a door. It's like the way the closet is set up. You can use it for something different than a closet. No, they didn't put any paneling or flooring in there either. And I go, what about in here? He says, well, it's a closet. It's going to be done. It's going to be done. So he says, well, if that's what you want. I said, that's what I want. So Jim is not home today because he went with his friend to this hunting post. If you're from Michigan, it's the Kyogi trading post or something. It's something all to deal with hunting and stuff like that. I got another thing. Someone's at your front door. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Be still, my heart. They must be hearing me because they're here. And no, they're driving away now. No, that's just Jim. That's not them. It's Jim coming back from his trip with his friend. So, anyway, I have to go before he hears me ranting and raving. We don't need to hear that because we've been fighting about this for 3 weeks now, and I'm just done. But that's going to do it for today. I know we got to switch our vanity because the vanity is too small. So we have to get a bigger vanity. So we're going to go get the bigger vanity. And then, I don't know why. They're never going to be finished. And then we're going to go.
I got to go pee.
They're going to go there and then go from there, I guess. But anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you like. See, I'm just lost my train of thought. If I find a vanity at Lowe's, I'll show you. But otherwise, I'm going to tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. So I will talk to you guys. Oh, and I wanted to thank Nancy Chiampe. Nancy sends me a quote every single day, without fail, to give me my inspiration for the day and just to keep me on track. And so I've used hers at the beginning just to look in the mirror every once in a while and reflect back to see how well you're doing on your journey and know that the person in the mirror is the one you have to impress. You don't have to impress anybody else. But the person in the mirror, you got to keep an eye on. So, all right. That's going to do it for now. I'll take you along when we go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, wherever we end up going. Talk to you soon. Well, this is the one we're hoping to get. They say it's in stock, but there's an empty spot down there. So we know how that goes for inventory. So he's going to check in the back. But that's the one we're thinking of. It looks gray, but it's white.